are a lot of conflicts going on in the world right now, and even though I don't talk about it every day on this channel, I do like to weigh in on these conflicts from time to time, because as some of you all already know, I believe that we are already in the middle of World War III. We just don't realize it yet. Of course, you know, we got the war in Ukraine going on. We got all of the tension over there in the Middle East, and of course, what's going on with Israel and Gaza. But there's also other wars going on and other little petty squabbles. And boy, oh boy, does it get petty. I mean, there is some next level pettiness going on in the world that you would not believe. Countries doing little things to each other to tick each other off, psychological warfare, dishonoring each other, you name it. I mean, one conflict that's going on right now and has been going on for a while that comes to mind is the border war that's going on between China and India. Yes, there's literally a border war going on between China and India already. It's not a full-scale, full-blown out war. If it was, then it would be really bad. But no, it's like Stone Age type warfare. They've basically agreed that they're not really going to use guns and bombs and stuff like that. So these people show up at the border and they fight each other with sticks and stones. Yes, bones do get broken. We know how the saying goes. But you should look it up sometimes. I'll probably make a video about it in the future because it gets really crazy. But what's even more petty than that is what's recently been going on between North Korea and South Korea. Now, I do believe this has been going on for a while, but recently, North Korea has been sending balloons floating over to South Korea. They have been filling balloons with manure, poop, garbage, and trash, and then they float them over to South Korea where they bust and burst in random places. You may walk outside and you got a bunch of poop right on your doorstep. You don't know where it came from. Well, guess what? Kim Jong-un himself just floated it over there from North Korea. They're literally floating piles of poop and balloons from North Korea to South Korea. This is like a form of psychological warfare. It's to demoralize them, to insult them, to humiliate them. And they're not even keeping it a secret. The government over there in North Korea, they acknowledge, yeah, hell yeah, we're sending turds in the balloons. What did you think? Did you not know that South Korea's been doing stuff like this before? So yeah, as of right now, the war between North Korea and South Korea has already started. It's just, they're not fighting with bullets and tanks and planes. No, they're sending balloons back and forth. Now, reportedly from everything I hear, a lot of the balloons that South Korea was floating over to North Korea, this is in the past. I'm not sure if they've been doing this recently. Although this week, literally, North Korea has been dropping poop bombs on South Korea all week. But in the past, South Korea would use balloons to float over little pamphlets with anti-North Korea propaganda, or letting people know, or encouraging people to defect and letting them know, there's a better world out here. Because North Korea is largely closed from the outside world. But let's go ahead and dive into this article and find out what's going on. North Korea has adopted a new strategy to contend with its southern neighbor, sending floating bags of trash containing filth across the border carried by massive balloons. The South Korean military began noticing large amounts of balloons arriving from the north starting on Tuesday night, detecting more than 150 as of Wednesday morning, according to the country's Joint Chiefs of Staff. Photos released show the plastic bags carried by two giant balloons with some broken packages spilling scraps of plastic, sheets of paper, and what appears to be dirt and poops onto the road and sidewalks. The balloons so far just contain filth and garbage and are being analyzed by government agencies. The military was also cooperating with the United Nations Command to investigate the balloons. North Korea's actions clearly violate international law and seriously threaten the safety of our citizens. All responsibility arising from the North Korean balloons lies entirely with North Korea, and we sternly warn North Korea to immediately stop its inhumane and low-level actions. Local governments also sent messages to residents in the northern, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, the northern Gyeonggi and Gangwon provinces to warn of the unidentified objects and advised against outdoor activities. The packages risk damaging residential areas, airports, and highways. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, who is also a senior official in the reclusive regime, referred to the activities as freedom of expression. In a statement published by state-run Korean Central News Agency on Wednesday, Kim said that North Korea had dispersed toilet paper and other waste materials in bags attached to the balloons along the Korean border and central areas. Kim compared North Korea's actions to South Korea's years-long practice of sending balloons with anti-North Korea leaflets towards her nation. We've done some of the same things they always do, but I don't know why they're making a big deal like they've been hit by a shower of fire, Kim said. The move, according to North Korean state media, was to retaliate against Southern Korean activists who have often sent materials to the North, including propaganda leaflets, food, medicine, radios, and USB sticks containing South Korean news and television dramas, all prohibited in the isolated totalitarian dictatorship. Campaigners in the South, including defectors from North Korea, have long sent these materials through balloons, drones, and bottles floating down the cross-border river even after South Korea's parliament banned such actions in 2020. Scattering leaflets by use of balloons is a dangerous provocation that can be utilized for a specific military purpose, said Kim Kang-tu, North Korea's Vice Minister of National Defense. He accused South Korea of using psychological warfare by scattering various dirty things near border areas, declaring that the North would take tit-for-tat action. Mounds of waste paper and filth will soon be scattered over the border areas and the interior of South Korea, and it will directly experience how much effort is required to remove it, Kim said. When our national sovereignty, security, and interests are violated, we will take action immediately.
Jeff Schogel, Task and Purpose.
Thanks. I have kind of an unconventional question. As my colleague mentioned, North Korea sent balloons across the south into the south that included human waste. Does the U.S. have any plans to reciprocate and send American poop across the 38th parallel?
Thanks, Jeff. We do not. Next question, Carla Babb.
So, folks, hopefully this just gives you somewhat of an idea of how petty things are getting, okay? It's 2024. This stuff is to be taken very seriously. You know, I feel like world leaders all over the world have their finger on the button waiting for something to pop off. And even though we're in a time where things are heating up and getting really serious, there's still petty stuff going on, like, hey, we're going to send a bunch of garbage over the border in a balloon. But you know, North Korea is a country that I've always been really worried about. I mean, when it comes to the Middle East, I don't worry about those countries over there as much because I know North Korea has a much more powerful military. Now, I know what some of you all will say, North Korea is nothing. We can wipe them off the map in a heartbeat. Yeah, but that's usually not how things go. We could have wiped Vietnam off the map in a heartbeat. We didn't. We know how that worked out. a lot of people will tell you that we kind of got our ass kicked over there. We kicked a lot of ass too, but I don't think we really won or really accomplished much. And, you know, we still got people here, veterans here, that we're still not taking care of, that went through all types of trauma in that war. But when it comes to North Korea, they are a powerful little country with a bunch of people who view their leader almost like a god. They literally don't believe that he even poops. No lie. Yeah, they'll send poop over to South Korea in balloons, but they don't believe their leader actually poops. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But it's a powerful little country with a bunch of radicalized people, a powerful army. And I'm not saying that, oh, North Korea poses a threat of taking over America, but they will serve as a strong ally to our stronger enemies. Also, what I worry about when it comes to these balloons is, yeah, it's petty now. But as I was saying earlier, North Korea is isolated from the outside world. South Korea is not. There's a lot of travel between America and South Korea. Basically no travel between South Korea, North Korea, and America and North Korea. So, hypothetically speaking, if North Korea were to put like some type of deadly virus or something in one of these balloons and start dropping them off in South Korea, that would not only spread throughout South Korea, it would definitely spread to America. And even though I'm sure some people in North Korea would get sick as well, I think the exposure to it would be limited, even though they're really close to South Korea, because North Korea is just so isolated. So in many ways, North Korea doesn't have to worry as much about diseases and illnesses being spread. You know what I mean? But who knows? For now, all we know is that they're sending trash and balloons over the border. And hopefully they stick with the balloons and missiles aren't next. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.